Is Eric Reese. We're here to do Tai Chi Chuan, and I want to let everyone know that you are responsible for your own safety. If you feel in doubt about doing any of the exercises, either don't do them or pull back and do them less. Make sure that you feel safe and only work at 70% of your capability. Okay, so having said that, we're ready to begin. And we're going to start with loosening exercises. First, we're going to step over with the left foot. I'm mirroring you right now. So step out. And we're going to do beating the drum. And actually, before we begin, now I'm remembering we should officially salute into the class. So we're going to make a fist with the right hand, cover the knuckles with the left. And this means we come here in peace. We don't wish to fight. We are doing an ancient Chinese martial arts practice. Okay, so we step out and we do beating the drum. Here, the back hand is going to slap against the back of the kidney. This helps toughen the muscle that protects the kidney. So if we get very strong here, when we fall and hit the back of the body, we're less prone to injury. So we're toughening up. The front arm slaps across the abdomen, which you'll notice you'll instinctively tighten when you hit yourself. So we're getting a little bit tougher, more resilient. Turn the head. Loosen the arms. Now we can switch and hit with the front hand to the upper body, hit near the shoulder. Okay, very good. And that's a very good warm-up. It gets the chi flowing throughout the entire body. It energizes all the cells. So it's a very good way to start practice. The next one also energizes the cells in the body. Gives us more energy, so we have more energy to practice. This time the feet are shoulder width apart, and we're just going to call this bouncing. So gently bounce, relax the body. Shaking or bouncing. Now this is going to strengthen the bones and repair any injuries in the joints, strengthen joints, so that we prepare ourselves for jumping. So we're probably not going to do much jumping on these videos because I'm not there to watch you and help monitor your safety. But start with bouncing. The feet are flat on the floor. Shake the body. Very therapeutic practice. Now you might say, well, this is really easy. How am I getting much exercise? We're not going to do it that long on the video, but at home, you want to work up to doing it for 3 minutes. Okay, when 3 minutes is easy, go to 5 minutes. 5 minutes, bouncing. This helps loosen the muscle. Okay, so we'll slow down. And while we're standing here, you might feel the energy moving in the body while we're holding still. Notice how your hands feel. You might already feel invigorated. You might feel some tingling in the hands. You might see your hands darkening. The blood is moving to the extremities, improving circulation of both blood and chi. Okay, now we'll go back to some of our other joint loosening. Let's start with the wrists. may not be very flexible yet. And that's why we practice. When I started this one, I wasn't very flexible either. So over the years, flexibility increases rather than decreases, and we call that anti-aging. Let's reverse direction. Good. And let's go ahead and loosen the shoulders. Gentle circles. Follow the 70% rule. Avoid going more than 70%, even though you can. Pull back so that we're also entering a meditative state during practice. And let's reverse. Okay, good. So today we're going to do some of the exercises that are called the 8 Pieces of Brocade. They are 8 different qigong exercises. Let's go ahead and start with number 1, which boosts the immune system. So now we're especially concerned with our immune system and staying healthy. And we bring the hands up and push up to the sky. 2 hands reach for the heavens. Reach out and stretch. Lift the heels as long as that doesn't hurt, and then come back down. Push up, reach out, lift, and down. There are a lot of different versions of these 8 exercises, and you can find different versions on the internet. You can also go to my website, silktigertaichi.com, and take a look at a preview of a video that I put together of these 8 important exercises. This first one, boosting the immune system. And relax. So we're only doing a couple because it's a teaching tape, but then you can turn off the television when it's not live like it is now, and then you turn off your laptop, and then go ahead and do more repetitions. Well, how many should we do? You can start with 9 if that's not too many, and then gradually over the course of the months ahead move up to 18 times, 27 times, and on some of these we'll just hold it at 36 times max. Okay? Some exercises do as many as you can, some we're going to limit, because we can have too much of a good thing, as you usually find out on New Year's Eve. So we're going to step out with the left foot again. And the second one in the series is called drawing the bow, imitating archery. So you're opening to your left. You're facing me and following, and crossing the hands in front, and open to your right. Strengthening the heart and the lungs. Okay? Heart disease, #1 killer in this country. We're also a nation of people with respiratory problems and conditions. So it's really important to learn how to strengthen the heart and the lungs, and this exercise will do the job. If you're recovering from a heart attack, or your doctor has warned you you're developing heart disease, make sure you're doing this one every day. Affect a positive healing on your body, drawing the bow. Look at the fingertip. Follow it back. Then focus straight ahead. Now we're improving our eyesight, changing focus. And relax. Step back in. And shake it out in between. Let's do number 3. Number 3 is called pushing heaven and earth. So one hand pushes up while the other pushes down. Most people do it with the lower hand in front of the body, And let's remember we can do all of these while we're seated in a chair. So in the chair, even if I have my feet far apart, you're just going to sit with the feet hip width apart and not move the legs. Most of the exercises, if you do it sitting down, you don't need to move the legs. It will still strengthen the legs. It will still promote energy and repair in the legs. I just can't tell you how that works. But really, the healing of Tai Chi happens because we're moving energy. So this is an energizing and energetic practice. So pushing heaven and earth, I'm going to turn my back to you so that you can see the back hand easily. We're positioning the hands and pushing up and down. So palm up, palm down. Circle. Push up and down. Circle. So if that feels a little bit rough, then turn around, do it this way. And if you're in a chair, also do it with the bottom hand in front of the body, because the chair will interfere with the movement. Pushing heaven and earth. This one strengthens stomach and spleen. We're also a nation of people with digestive problems. Work on your stomach, which involves digestion, elimination, and absorption of nutrients from what we eat. You might have a very good diet, but if you can't absorb the nutrients, then it doesn't do you much good. So this one helps with that as well. The spleen regulates the health of our blood cells. Very important. Healthy blood, healthy body. So you know what the reverse would be. Also, spleen regulates sleep. So we're also a nation of sleep-deprived people. A lot of people have sleep problem, and Tai Chi and qigong in general regulate sleep and make it healthier. This one, regulating the spleen, also helps with better sleep. So you could spend 12 hours in bed and never get restful sleep. You still wake up tired. Common problem, right? Common problem. You can see how valuable the 8 pieces of brocade are for everyday problem that people have dealt with since the dawn of time, and they developed these exercises to help fix it. Number 4, looking backwards. Well, what is a sign of aging poorly? The neck gets stiff. My friends and I used to joke, we could always tell when we were driving behind an elderly person because they never turned their head. They didn't look to the right. They didn't look to the left. And they certainly didn't turn their head while they were backing out of a driveway, right? Are we getting lazy and using our mirrors and our rear view camera and not getting the exercise, turning the head when we're driving? So let's make sure that we de-stiffify the neck. Okay, that's a word I made up. All right, so we're gonna look over the shoulder, left side first, and again, without using force, don't give yourself a new problem that you have to fix. 70% only or less. Turning and looking backwards. Gently. Now these exercises prove to be more profound the longer they're practiced. So in the months and even years ahead, as you continue to practice, you're going to get more benefits. Looking backwards. Now what does this help with your body health? This can prevent headaches, including migraine headaches. So I understand migraines are very bad. I don't know personally, but I recently had 2 students who cured their migraines with this exercise. Now, just because you in effect a cure or a healing, that doesn't mean you stop, because it could come back. So you keep going your whole life. Looking backwards. Be sure you're not lifting or tensing the shoulders when you do it. Keep the shoulders down and relaxed, and only work gently with patience. You'll get there. Now the next one is probably the more strenuous exercise in the set of 8. It's called swaying the head and shaking the tail. That usually evokes a smile from my students. Okay, so we're going to step out again and turn the feet out into a V shape. And we're going to put the hands with the thumbs on the outside, fingers facing each other, above the knees. Make sure they're not resting on the kneecaps, that can hurt the knees. Above the knees on this one. We're going to sway to the left and hold it. Sway to the right. Notice I'm dipping down and then rising up. This leg straight, leaning into this arm, and counting for about 3 seconds, or take 3 breaths. Hold the posture. And sway to your right. Hold the posture. To the left. To the right. And come up. In the beginning, you might only be able to do a few of those. Okay, and feel free again to modify it. There's no wrong way to practice except no practice. So modify it, be a little creative, and you'll get there. Now that one regulates what the Chinese call in their medicine heart fire. So a lot of times we can be prone to excessive emotions. Anybody ever deal with that problem? Too much emotion, right? Excess emotion is hurting our own health. It hurts us more than where it's directed. So emotional extreme. So this exercise regulates what's called the heart fire, fiery emotion. Could be any sort of emotion, but just too much, too much. Okay, it also strengthens the body in different ways. When we're in this position, leaning, I'm putting weight in this arm. You want to be careful not to put too much weight there. We want to lean, so it would be like we're leaning against something. If somebody slapped the arm out of the way, we would fall, right? We would fall. So eventually we can put a little more weight on this side. And then a little more weight on this side. So that's strengthening the wrists and the knees. All good stuff. Okay, all good. Number 6. Doesn't take very long to practice. Kidney exercise. We already talked about the kidneys when we were slapping ourselves silly in the beginning, right? Toughen up the muscles protecting the kidney. Kidney, very important. Kidney is the governor of the qi. So a lot of times if we're fatigued, we're run down. Do you know the number one reason people see their doctor is because they're sick and tired of being sick and tired. They complain about being tired all the time. This is a kidney energy problem. We can fix it. We get the kidneys activated. Also, lower back issues can come from weak kidneys. A lot of problem. Kidneys also affect the eyes, the eyesight. Strengthen kidneys, strengthen your eyes. So this one does all of that. Clasp the fingers. Exhale down. Inhale up. I'll turn sideways. Exhale down. Inhale up. Now keep your mind focused on the kidneys while you're doing it. Can you visualize the kidneys in there? They're those brown lima bean shaped organs. Do you know where they are? Can you visualize them? Keep your mind on there. Mind leads the qi. So with the mind on the kidneys, you're leading the qi there with your mind as well as with the movement. Exhale down. Inhale up. And especially important not to overdo it, not to give yourself a new problem. Exhale. Inhale. Addressing the kidneys. And relax. Now that one, I would not exceed 18 times. Okay, so 18, more than 18 might be too many. So all the others, 36 repetitions when you can build up to that. Kidney exercise, maybe 18 is enough. Okay, so number 7. Punching with angry gaze. This is the most martial looking of all these 8 exercises. Stepping out, making fists, and your left fist first, punch. Squeeze the fist, clench the teeth, tighten everything in the body that you can. Again, not too much. Then relax everything. Right hand, punch, and glare as if you're angry at an enemy. And then relax the face. Punching with angry gaze. Punch, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. Look tough, exhale, inhale. And relax. Okay, that one is working on the liver. Okay, and we all know the expression, if somebody drinks too much, sometimes we say that person's an angry drunk. So we know that too much alcohol hurts the liver. What does it also affect? The anger. So when we do an exercise for the liver, we're dissipating that anger. So what we're actually looking angry while we do it, that gets it out of the body. Exhale, anger, bring in, relax. Okay, so you're working on the liver, major detoxification organ. It's very overworked and underpaid right now. We deal with so much toxicity, pollution, chemicals in our food and our water. The liver is very stressed. And maybe that's why so many people seem angry. Angrier than usual. You can't take a deep breath because the air isn't so good. Or get the nutrients from your food because it's so heavily covered with chemicals and pesticides. So when you go to the beach, what do you do first? Roll down the windows and take a deep breath. Oh, now you can breathe. You're getting better air. How about the mountains? Same thing. In the city, not so good. So in China, where they're very polluted, and they were wearing masks before anybody because the air quality is so poor in so many areas, what do they do every weekend? They take a pilgrimage to the mountains where they get some good oxygen in their body, and then they go back into the city for the next week. So these are all health practices. Get out in the woods, go to nature, and be healthier. Number 8 of the 8 pieces of brocade. And this one is called raising the heels. So we're going to lift the heels and flex the hands back at the wrist and then come down. Up and down. Again, if you feel no pain. Now, if this hurts your ankles or your knees, you don't want to lift the heels right now. Wait till they become stronger from the other exercises first. Up and down. Very relaxed. If any exercise is making us feel anxious, then we're not meditating and we're not doing Tai Chi. We're not practicing qigong, and we're certainly not meditating. Lifting the heels. Okay, and then rest. At the end of your practice, just stand there for a few minutes and feel. What's going on in my hands that might feel different than when I started? Well, I can definitely feel qi in my hands. Now, you probably can't see it from this distance, but if you look at my hands, they look red, they look blotchy. My fingers are darker in color, almost purple. And there's some blotchy effects. So the red, the pink, or dark color is blood, and the lighter color is the qi. So you can see a visual effect of your practice. Okay, and if you're not seeing it right away, it's okay. Again, patience. It will come in time. After a while, I was only able to think about doing Tai Chi and get that effect. Just think about it and it happens. A conditioned reflex. All right, so let's see what we've been working on today. The very famous medical qigong set called the 8 Pieces of Brocade exercises. And in ancient China, the physician would prescribe exercises to fix problem. And only if that started to fail would he go to something stronger, like acupuncture. Only if those things didn't work or it was a drastic condition would they then prescribe herbs. Only when those things failed would he go to drugs and surgery, the last resort. So, we can do a lot for ourselves. We must do more for ourselves. Look at your diet. We're talking about having a strong immune system. Learn more about what you're putting in between those two lips before you swallow. Okay, the most carcinogenic food. Do you know what it is? It's microwavable popcorn. Did you know that? How come I know that and you don't know that? That's because I read everything. I love this stuff. I love this information. I wasn't eating it anyway, okay? But I knew people who did. So you want to let people know, you know, okay, you eat all that stuff, it's going to hurt you. You know, it's a little bit of fun now, but then you pay later, right? And what's the most pesticide-ridden fruit right now? What should you never buy that isn't organic? Strawberries. It's strawberry season. They're everywhere. But are you buying organic strawberries? The number of pesticides on regular strawberries is enormous. The cost in price isn't too much. The cost to your health is enormous, you see. So what is your health worth? Is it worth paying an extra 50 cents for this or for that? The foods you enjoy. So educate yourself about what you should do in the grocery store, because whatever you buy in the store, that's what you're going to eat at home. Okay, so I'm going to go through some Tai Chi, and let's move together. Commencement. Grasp bird's tail to your right. Grasp bird's tail to the left. Ward off. Roll back. Press. Push. Single whip. Playing the harp. White stork cools its wings. Brush knee to the left. Playing the violin. Brush knee to the left, it's a repeat. Make a fist. Step. Parry. Punch. Apparent close up. Oh, look at that head turning there from looking backwards. And push. Look. Cross hands. Close. Okay, good. My regular students are probably having fits right now because they know I left out something very important. I never teach a class without doing it, but I did today. Guilty as charged, Your Honor. I left out knee rotations, so don't you make the same mistake. And I'm going to check on you next time I see you, which will be a week from today. Thank you for joining in, and we clap 3 times.